Welcome back to Sturge Tropia. This is Sturge with a fun and new video. This won't necessarily be a series, but it'll be a sort of like a every once in a while I'll throw together one of these types of videos. The combination video is what I'm going to call this, where I'm actually going to combine, sort of go on the coattails of the crafting series I've been working on, combine crafting level 3 amplifiers, mining amplifiers, and then mining with them, and seeing, okay, well, do I have profitability, or am I just losing my ass? I thought it would be fun to do this. I actually put out a poll recently asking just this question: what would you like to see the most? And as you can see, the overwhelming response there from the 22 votes that we got for this particular poll were the level 3 mining amplifier series with 41% of the votes. There was also 9% of the votes for just meat all the time, and me being a pickle sandwich. Of course, I've always been called the green pickle. Anyway, it appears that mining is very popular on this channel, and so that's what I'm doing. I'm going to make my own level 3 mining amplifiers. I'm just going to mine with them. First, let's look at the requirements for the level 3 Finder amplifier utilizing the unlimited blueprint. And the level requirement here is level 3. So this is actually a really basic blueprint. Once you have a little bit of skill in crafting and manufacturing, you should be able to craft this this particular Finder amplifier. As you can see here, we need basic sheet metal, blossarium ingots, listerium ingots, narconism ingots, and it's going to be survey probes, always survey probes. In this particular case, it's going to be 40 survey probes to go with this particular blueprint, and that's all there is to it, and that's part of the reason that I picked this. It's because the resources are really super easy to come by. If we take a look here at basic sheet metal, it only takes Aliseni's gel and narconism to make 1-to-1 ratio there to make basic sheet metal. So you can see these are staggeringly easy to find resources to make this level 3 Finder amplifier, and that's just one of the reasons I really like it. I think it's going to be pretty cool to make. So here's how it's going to roll. I'm going to keep really good track of each and every crafting run in a spreadsheet, which is already completed. I've actually gone through all the video and found all of the information that I need to put into the spreadsheet. I've edited this spreadsheet. I think it's pretty accurate, and we can see profit and loss all the way around. So this is actually the first crafting run for this series. I've used the blueprint before and crafted a couple of these, but I never got a quality rating increase. So I'm still running at the basic quality rating and like 80-some% success rate. And all I'm hoping for here is just to get a couple of successes out of these 7 clicks. Doesn't look like we're getting there yet, but if we can get a couple of successes out of this, and then that'll give me a amplifier to use and do a first mining run and see how that goes. I'm really optimistic that it's going to be really cool to be using this amplifier. I think that the claim sizes will be very reasonable. All right, there we go. With 8.95 PED being the success threshold, we got one for 9 PED 32. Before I go mining with this, let me show you what the level 3 Finder amplifier looks like, specifically the decay. It's 1 PED, 100 PEC, and the maximum TT value is 114 PED, so actually not an expensive, there's not a huge PED sink here, with the bottom level being about a 9 PED Finder and the top end being 114 drops you can get from this particular Finder amplifier. I think that's really straightforward. I love the 1 PED decay, and that's going to come in handy later. So I have sort of a keen idea. I'm only going to mine for crude oil to start, and to do that, I'm going to go straight to the Atlantis archipelago, because the only resources you can find there are crude oil and listerium, and that's going to make it really straightforward and easy to sort of validate this method. Okay, so I'm here just outside the back of the service center from the teleporter at the Atlantis archipelago, and all I'm going to do is use an F101, and I'm going to put that amplifier on it. And my reason for this is very simple. The F101 will hit crude oil without any trouble whatsoever. So I know that for certain. And I'm just going to let this play, sort of the mining run, and then I'm going to explain to you why I'm doing it the way I'm doing it. And I think the overall setup here is when I got this level 3 amplifier blueprint doing the daily mission where you do the level 2 Finder Amplifier Light crafting here on Calypso, I got this blueprint. I'm like, gosh, this is a really cool blueprint. I want to craft a bunch of these Finder amplifiers, and then I'm going to do something kind of crazy. I'm just going to go out and mine for one particular resource that I know I can get, or two resources. In the instance, like I said, here on the archipelago, the Atlantis archipelago, you can only get crude oil and Listerium, and therefore I'm restricting the resource that I can find, which I think better suits the use of a Finder amplifier. Because really what I don't want is a bunch of competition ores or end matters getting in the way from the thing that I want. Basically, I'm just going for TT return here. I'm not going for markup. And that's the best way for me to sort of prove to myself that this is either a viable method or it isn't. You know, I'm just going to lose PED doing this as I go along. One of the other reasons I love the Atlantis archipelago is there are very few people mining here. Now, I'm right outside of the service center, but actually, if you think about it, all of these islands, people have to either fly to get there, swim amongst the dangerous fish, or they take a hoverpod or something like that to get over to these places. So there isn't a lot of competition for the resources out here. So I hope you noticed that last claim that I hit was a size 5, a small. And that's a minimum of 3 PED for that claim size. Well, generally you would get a size 3, which would be normally a PED to a PED 99 in size. And so by adding 1 PED more of decay on top of the half PED of end matter drops with the F101, I'm getting 3 PED. That's pretty cool. If you think about, that's basically I'm dropping it, I get a hit, I get 3 PED, right? If I get a hit. And that's really, I think it was counterintuitive, but when I noticed that was happening, I get 5s and 6s more consistently using this particular finder because of the 1 PED decay. Now keep in mind, it's a PED for every resource. So the PED of decay on the Finder amplifier will be a PED for ore, it'll be a PED for end matter, and it'll be a PED for treasure. So you can drop up to 3 PED worth of decay at a time. I'm just choosing to do 1 PED of decay and then half PED in mining probes. At the end of the video, I'm going to show you all of the details from all the mining runs and all the crafting runs, but suffice to say, for this particular run, I end up 3.93 PED in the hole, and I think it had something to do with this little guy right here, because I still had the amplifier on, but I got a size 2 tiny, which didn't help me out much. Let's take a look at the second crafting run for the level 3 Finder amplifier, and I had enough material for 11 attempts. And given the base value here is 8.95 PED, for if you get a true success, that's not too bad. I'm using a little bit of metal residue because when I get a full TT value, well, it won't be full TT value, but I want an amp that has really good value. And I've been saving up kind of my metal residue and energy matter residue with the hopes of actually nailing down a much higher PED value amplifier. And so far, not doing very well. This looks pretty terrible. There we go, 73.02 PED. That'll work really well. 73 drops worth of an amplifier. Let's see how we do on the rest of this. So it looks like in the end a total of 4 successes. With the problem with the 73 PED one is it really only counts in the spreadsheet as 8.95 PED. We'll take a look at that later. So I think one of the best things to do is just show you the distribution of claim sizes, because that's always pretty cool, right? And it just gets you a better feel for what happens when you have an amplifier on. And the distribution seems to be a lot of smalls and modest size claims, so 5s and 6s across the board, which helps me out TT-wise. Amazing. I really needed a lot of that kind of thing, and every once in a while you get something like a 52 PED global, and that helps turn all of these runs into profitability. One of the other things I think I should mention as well is when you think about what you're doing with an amplifier, you should probably have your iron mission, your mining challenge iron mission going, whatever planet you're on, but specifically on here on Calypso. So whenever you hit, well, you're hitting bigger anyway, so you're getting more points towards your crude oil iron mining challenge. So as always, as I've said in that mining series, just keep that in mind. You always go after, get credit. And with the amplifier on, you're getting a little bit more credit towards your iron mining missions. So let me quickly wrap this up by looking at the spreadsheet for all of these. So 3 crafting runs and then 6 mining runs using amplifiers that I created. And you can see right away at the grand totals at the top here, do not make this look promising. Like I mentioned earlier, I couldn't claim all of that 70 PED here on the spreadsheet because that came from energy residue and metal residue that I had collected. So I only get 8.95 PED, which is the base value for that success to add to here. So that's one of the things that really hurts. So if we look at the actual returns here from the crafting runs, pretty bad, right? The minus 36 PED, 45 PED, and 26 PED for the big 3 crafting runs. And even though the middle one there got me at 64% return, it's still pretty harsh. If you take a look at it from that perspective, that I'm actually losing the PED on the crafting runs and then making PED on the mining runs, but it's not enough. So look at my losses here in the mining run. The first one, 3.93 PED, then gain of 751, 1473. The global one only gained me 33.4 PED. Then there's another loss of 368 and another gain of 463. Overall, the mining gains are 52 PED, 56. So that's just not enough to overcome all of the losses from crafting. And then, of course, we've got 6.5 PED of decay, which I am keeping track of, absolutely. And I think that's the testament of what's going on here. And but it's worth keeping track. It's worth knowing. And also, consider that my success rate on that blueprint is maybe 82 to 83% currently. So there you have it. The summary, I'm 61 PED in the hole after all of this. It's been a cool experience. I'm not giving up here. I just wanted to see if I could turn a profit mining crude oil, from the creation and the crafting of my own mining amplifiers. And so far, yeah, the mining part's good, the crafting part not so much. Now, of course, someone might say, hey, Sturge, why don't you just buy the amplifiers off the auction house at 106 or 107% markup and go about your business because it looks like you can profit? And that really would be the smart way to do things. But clearly, I'm not acting very smart because I want to actually craft these things. I really want to get that blueprint quality rating up to 100 over time, and I'm willing to lose a little bit of PED and have some fun doing it, and make some more videos and let people see what that looks like and see the viability of crafting your own amplifiers and then mining with them. And then obviously there's no profitability yet, but there might come a day when that happens. And that's really the plan, is to hope for that day. So in the next video, I'm going to stay here on Calypso and the Atlantis Archipelago, and I'm going to do, I think, the best way to demonstrate whether this is really going to work or not is to do Listerium. Because again, Listerium is the only ore that I'm going to be able to find on the Atlantis Archipelago, and if that's all I can find here, I should still be able to turn a TT profit, maybe get a cheeky global or a HOF in there. The HOF is really what I'm looking for to help offset the costs that, the PED loss there from the crafting side. So look forward to that in the future. The Listerium mining runs with the level 3 Finder amplifiers that I craft here on Planet Calypso. So thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know down in the comments if you want to see more of this stuff. I'm going to do a few more of these, but the more comments and feedback I get, that'll help me figure out how many more of these videos I should make. This is Sturge signing off. Ciao for now.